Shalom. Who praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, El Shai, Ba'ashem, El Rakah, Kudash. Double honors unto the elder apostles of great most on the rule well. And shalom to the whole full elect. This is Paya Allah. This is News and Prophecy News Update. The date today is the 24th of March, 2025. The hopeful year. Sorry. The year of death, destruction, and judgment. Hopeful year of death, destruction, and judgment. Of Esau. I've got a couple. I got this article. I'll delve into it. It's a sign of the times. So this is from the sun.com. Right, which the headline reads: Spaced out, Brits spot mysterious spirals over UK as skylights up with frozen fuel from SpaceX rocket. One terrified witness told the Sun it was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
What is that?
Wait, Mum, we need to get in quick. I know what it is. Mum, we need to get in quick. I know what it is. We need to get in quick. I know what it is.
Get in quick.
So, mysterious spirals thought to be frozen fuel from SpaceX rocket have been spotted in the sky above Britain tonight. The phenomenon was seen by countless people across the UK at around 8 p.m. this evening. Alright, so they're trying to say that's frozen fuel in the air. Okay, so it says the spiral appeared at around 8 p.m. across the sky. The phenomenon is understood to have been caused by the Illuminated frozen fuel expelled from the second stage of SpaceX rocket that launched earlier today. Abby Nichols, 25, spotted the mystical pattern above her home in Middleton, Manchester. She stepped out into her front garden thinking it was a shooting star before quickly realizing it was something else. Abby told the Sun it was like a whirlpool of lights floating across the sky. Remember, keep that in mind. I'm literally just reading this. This is real. I just saw this. So just let me record. But keep that in mind. A whirlpool of lights floating across the sky. It made me feel really strange. I've never seen anything like this before. The mysterious lights have also been spotted from Bristol, Milton Keynes, Stoke-on-Trent, and the coastline of Kent this evening. Which I wonder if that's even in the path of SpaceX, the SpaceX launch. Abby said how she witnessed the strange lights for around 30 seconds before they then drifted off. BBC-led weather presenter Simon King explained the display had been caused by frozen fuel expelled by the recent SpaceX launch. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Exodus. When Pharaoh asked his priests, how is it possible that Moses did these miracles? And they gave him an explanation, and they showed a way to do it, and that allowed him to harden his heart. All right. This just sounds like these are the soothsayers, weather presenters, Simon King. Of Esau that are basically saying things that will soothe the mind of the people and lower them back to sleep. Alright. But he said watchers have captured the SpaceX spiral in the skies above the UK this evening after the rocket launched in the US. It was caused by illuminated frozen fuel expelled from the rocket's second stage. So I wonder if it was seen in America. Alright. It says the Met Office also confirmed the display was likely, quote unquote, the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch. It said in a post on X, we've received many of reports of illuminated swirl in the sky this evening. This is likely to be caused by a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch earlier today. The rocket's frozen exhaust plume appears to be spinning in the atmosphere and reflecting the sunlight, causing it to appear as a spiral in the sky. You know, they got to comfort these simple people, man. Dave Garland said he spotted the light slowly drifting over the sky. Slowly drifting, okay, over the sky in Yate, Bristol. While Ashley 39 saw the display off the coast of Kent while he was fishing. If you know how far, for those that don't know the geography of Britain, Bristol is west. It's near Wales, alright? Kent is east, it's southeast, alright? It's like a 2 hour drive. Well, from Kent, it's probably a 4 hour drive, 3.5, give or take. Because from London, I've been Bristol a couple times. It's about a 2 hour drive. All right, so we're talking a good distance. All right. 39-year-old was told, and even when you go back to all those places mentioned where they saw the spiral, Bristol, Milton, Stoke-on-Trent. There's Stoke-on-Trent. I want to start from north, actually. But you can look it up. So it says, Dave Garland said he spotted the light slowly. The 39-year-old told the sun it traveled across the sky slowly. It disappeared after about 5 minutes. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is deep, man. Simon Lawton also said the display from the skies above Stoke-on-Trent this evening also saw the display. He described how the spinning white spiral appeared around 8:05 p.m. following SpaceX mission and launch 1:48 Eastern Time, 5:48 p.m. in the UK earlier today. Right. As countless others took the social media question of strange display in the sky. One perplexed user on X asked, "Can people in the UK tell me what the giant spiral cloud with a bright light in the middle flying through the sky was?" Another said, "It looks like a cloud moving across the sky, but at the same time, but as it came closer, it had light in the middle and a spiral appeared around it." This is deep, man. Right. These are all biblical examples. Alright. So read the last little bit. Similar displays have been observed from SpaceX launches in the polar past. That's what they say. But they're not presenting no images. And this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Now, okay, say for example, what they're saying is valid. And it's just, illumination of rocket fuel in the sky, in the atmosphere, creating this, like, the auras from the Great Northern Lights. Okay, well, yeah, that's fair. Alright, you want to say that. But then, it's still an omen. Alright, an omen of what? An omen of the end of this world. Alright, in that the whirlpool, as I mentioned before, alright, is written in the scriptures. Okay, I did want to kind of structure it a certain way, but I'll probably do another video like that. But I'll just hit all the necessary precepts just to prove the point. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna get. Let me check. Smoking walls. Let's go to here. There you are. That's where it's Whirlwind. Alright, let me check one more thing. So this is 2 Kings 2:9. And it came to pass when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee, for I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, the horses of fire parted them both asunder. Alright? This being the point. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, it's not, I should read Ezekiel. I misread it in my mind. So this is Ezekiel 1, and I saw it from 3. The word of the Lord Yahweh came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans, by the river of Kabar. And the hand of the Lord Yahweh was upon him. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, alright, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof was as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. And this is deep because this basically described nearly every sentiment that was alluded to or described by witnesses, alright, a cloud, a whirlwind, a bright light, illuminating light. So this just shows you, this is something powerful. Alright, now as far as I'm saying, it's just light reflected. Alright, say it's light reflected, but this light reflecting, what does it bring to mind? It brings to mind this. It makes you think of that thing that's happening. Alright, and then if you think about that, it's basically talking about the chariots of the Most High. Alright, they even broke it down and showed you in the fourth kind. Alright, but this is basically this. Zechariah 5:1. It says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, what this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber of and the stones thereof. The curse is basically God. And why I believe it is, I believe it's a chariot. Right. The reason why I believe it, just solely, right, based upon, the explanation. As I said, it alludes. It feels like it. It's given. It's given lies. No, it comes across as something that's a cover up, or they're trying to make make you have a light-hearted approach to this issue, all right, when really it's something that's been getting called up and down the country, all right, and ultimately, whether or not it's one of the two of it, either or, it brings to mind the chariots of the Most High, the salvation, all right. Yahweh shall ultimately also being brought up in the whirlwind, which our end on is the way he's gonna come back, all right. So this is Revelation 1:7, which reads, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so Amen. And that woman spoke about being afraid. All right, I believe there was a man as well that spoke about being afraid. No, yeah, it was the man. No, Ashley. Which Ashley could be a boy or a girl. Alright. But basically said, it's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Alright. So all sentiments toward this sighting, that bring edify to the next one. Shalom, shalom.